Welcome to Middle Math Academy's Integers, Opposites, and Absolute Value level number 5. This is part of our differentiated series where we have 5 levels of challenge for every topic. Let's get started. Our learning targets today are I can use keywords to write integers involving elevation, money, and temperature. I can explain the difference between opposites and absolute value. Before we get started, rate yourself on these learning targets. 1 is the least confident, and 5 is the Our opening says number the number line -5 to 5. So you can see in the middle of our number line, we have 0. To the right of 0 are our positive numbers. So to the right of 0, we're just going to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure you're writing this down. And to the left of 0 are our negative numbers. So the first. Let's get started with some notes. Our first note today, and make sure you're writing with me, are integers are positive or negative whole numbers. So 6, -8, 12, those are all integers. Now, elevation is the distance above or below sea level. So if you're scuba diving, you are below sea level. So let's talk about some more key words for positive and negative numbers, but also for 0. So let's start with 0. If you are at sea level, we consider that 0. Make sure you're writing this. In terms of temperature, 0 degrees. And then par is in golf. In case you haven't played golf, you might see questions like this. Par is 0. So now let's focus on elevation first, under negative. Some keywords for elevation that are negative are below sea level and descending, going down. Elevation positive keywords are above sea level and ascending, going up. Remember, you can always pause the video if you need more time. When we talk about money, withdrawals, that's taking money out, a signal for negatives. Loss, owe, and debt are all keywords for negative numbers. On the positive end, we have deposit. I always remember that I can almost see the word positive in deposit. Putting money in your account, gaining money, and profit. Those are all keywords for positive numbers associated with money. And then for temperature, we have decrease or going down, below 0 degrees. And positive temperature keywords are increase and above 0 degrees. Pause the video if you need more time, and then we'll do a few examples. Let's take a look at the bottom of page 1. It says write an integer to describe each situation, underline keywords. I'll do example A with you, and then you can complete the rest on your own. A says a person scuba diving 83 feet below sea level. I know below sea level are keywords for negative numbers, so the integer I'll write is -83. Go ahead and complete the rest of these on your own, B through F, then come back to the video. Because this is level number 5, I'm going to move pretty quickly. Make sure you're pausing the video if you need more time, and check your work. At sea level is 0. 17 feet above sea level is 17. Make sure you underlined keywords. A loss of 900 is -900. Owing 86 is -86. And dropping 40 degrees is -40. If your teacher wants you to, go ahead and check in with them and get their initials, and then come back to the video for page 2. We're practicing the exact same thing on page 2, so you're going to complete page 2 on your own. And then once again, if your teacher is directing you to, go ahead and get your teacher's initials and have them check your work once you finish page 2. Take a look at the top of page 3. Make sure you're writing down these notes with me. Negative numbers are to the left of 0 on a horizontal number line or below 0 on a vertical number line. Positive numbers are to the right of 0 or above 0 on a vertical number line. The more negative a number, the less it is. So the easiest way I think to think about this is like owing money. So you have less money if you owe someone $100 versus owing them $1. -100 is less than -1. -50 is less than -10, because if you're in debt $50, You owe more money than if you just owed $10. Our next note is plotting a point on a number line. If you ever hear that, it just means putting a dot on the number line. And then distance is always positive. For example, if I was going on a 5-mile run south, I would never say I went on a negative 5-mile run. So distance is always positive. Page 3, example A says plot -3 and 1 on the number line below. What's the distance between the 2 points? So plotting just means putting a dot on the number line. So I'm going to put a dot at -3 right on the line and 1. When I'm counting the distance between each point, sometimes it's helpful to do super neat loops, one loop between each number. And then I can count that these are 4 spaces away. So the distance between these 2 points is 4. Go ahead and complete B, C, D on your own. Then come back to the video. Now that you've had some horizontal line practice with distance, we're going to do a little vertical line practice. Here, we're plotting -3 and 2. And just because it's a vertical or up and down number line, we're still going to approach it the same way. So I'm going to put a dot at -3 and a dot at 2. When I determine the distance, I'll do one loop between each number. So we have 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the distance between -3 and 2 is 5 units or 5 spaces. Go ahead and complete the rest of this page. Then if your teacher wants you to, get their initials. Let's take a look at the notes at the top of page 4. 2 numbers are considered opposites if they are the same distance from 0 on a number line. They're just on opposite sides. So for example, 5 and -5 are opposites because they're both 5 units from 0. Make sure you're writing with me. It says blank and -2 are opposites. Well, 2 and -2 are opposites because they're both 2 units from 0. And I want you to fill this in on the number line to the right as well. So if we have -2 and 2, we can see that 2 is 2 spaces from 0 and -2 is 2 spaces from 0. They are opposites. And then our last note, 3 and -3 are opposites because they're both 3 units from 0. So in this section below, you're going to write the opposite of each number. So if it said 7 here, okay, yours says something different. But if it did, then I would write -7 as the opposite. So opposites can be positive or negative. They are the same distance apart from 0. This video is not going to go over all of the answers on this page, but to make sure you're on the right track. For the first column, you should have had the opposite of 309 is -309. Then you should have had 13, 345, -78.75, and 64.5. Go ahead and complete the rest of this page on your own, then check in with your teacher. Let's take a look at the notes at the top of page 5. Absolute value means distance from 0 and can be represented with these lines. Absolute value is always positive. So the absolute value of -8 is +8. The absolute value of +15 is +15. Absolute value is always positive and means distance from 0. So in this section right here, it says write the absolute value of each number. The absolute value of -43, +43. Absolute value of 87, 87. Our answers, whenever we have these lines around our numbers, are positive. Go ahead and complete this first section and the second section on your own, then come back to the video. This third section says order the numbers below from least to greatest. Remember, the more negative a number, the less it is. That's an E. The less it is. Okay, so go ahead and complete the rest of page 5 and then check in with your teacher. Let's take a look at page 6. Complete all of page 6 on your own, then come back to the video. All right, we're not going to go over all of the problems on page 6, but we'll go over a couple. Let's take a look at common misconception problem D. It says a distance from -39 to 0 is the same distance from 39 to 0. So -39 and 39 are opposites. They're both 39 spaces from 0. So that is true. The next one, on the number line, the absolute value of 61 and 61 are the same point. That is also true. Those lines around a number keep it positive. And then the last part of the table, the distance between -290 and 0 on a number line is -29 units. Nope. That is false. In our Venn diagram, remember you're only going to have one statement in each part of the Venn diagram. We're not going to go over this in the video. But remember, don't forget to fill out our debrief. So in your own words, what did you learn today? Rate yourself 1 through 5. How much effort did you put in during class? 1 is the lowest, 5 is the highest. What do you think is a common misconception or a common mistake students might make when working on today's topic? And once you've filled in all of page 6, you're going to go back to the very first page. At the beginning of today, we rated ourselves before the lesson on our learning targets. Now that we've gotten some more practice, you're going to rate yourself after the lesson. Thank you for joining us today at Middle Math Academy, where we practice integers, opposites, and absolute value, level number 5, our most challenging level. This is part of our differentiated series where we have 5 levels of challenge for every topic. If you're looking for any additional practice, make sure to check out levels 4, 3, 2, or 1. Thank you for joining us and have a wonderful day.